Chaim. Don't leave over from Pesach to the next day. Korban Pesach, when? How long do you have to eat the Korban Pesach? Right? We both know. Machlokes, yeah. Machlokes. Either chatzos or to the morning, one way or the other way, right? That's what it says. You have these two inyanim, right? Same with the matzah, same inyan of what and when, right? And that's the whole mahalach of the davening, because the davening of the Korban is that like this. You know, it's like this. I don't even want to do the time of the davening now. Let's leave the time of the davening alone. Bottom line is, we eat matzah before chatzos, and if we come for chatzos for a chumrah, because we don't know how halach is, and it's something to rice even. Like, bottom line is, it could be that b'diavad, after if the person has shown missed chatzos, he has to eat matzah, maybe deraisa, but he can't make the bracha on the matzah because he doesn't know if he's supposed to do deraisa. That's what we need to know. That's because it's not an azer, someone who's getting late, but can just make before chatzos. He has a way maybe around the problem. That's not an azer. So that's not necessarily for right now. But actually, yeah. We'll do about an azer. Very, very quick, very simple. He says a person before chatzos. He says, okay, if the halacha is that I have until chatzos, right? So I'm eating now. I'm eating the matzah now, and he has another kedayis is the afikomen, and I'm done. Right, done. But then after chatzos, there's a mahalach that it's after chatzos. Mila, once it's after chatzos already, once it's after chatzos, so he's already. You don't have to keep the time of matzah. So once it's after the zman, it's after the zman. It's over. You don't have to keep the time of the matzah until the morning. The shita that it's the whole night. So maybe then after chatzos you can continue. You can because you ate to the matzah doraisa, and you made it tonight. If this is the zman to chatzos, so then I have my second kazayis is the ma'afikum. And after chatzos, when the zman is over, the feed that shita, then you have your meal and you have another afikum afterwards, and it works. Someone asked Rav Yasha if you can rely on this tonight davening. He said, listen. You shouldn't. If you're late, yeah, you can do it. You know, whatever you do. Now I need a Pesach Suda, like the part of the kilo. Yeah, that's what he said. So that's not the Ebenezer. So the better not to get to such a place if possible. So the Komarna discusses this concept of not leaving over. You're not supposed to leave over. You have to finish it. Don't leave the basar of Pesach till the next day. Don't waste the siyum minute. You're not supposed to leave it over, right? You're supposed to burn the noiser. If you leave it over, you burn it, but you're not supposed to leave over. So the Komarna, one of the things that is so amazing about the Komarna and Bechlal Dipras Forum is they take a mitzvah and they apply it to every person. They explain the Ravoda, and you're like, it becomes something totally different. You're like, okay, this is like seems to be a very technical halacha. You know, don't leave it over. That's all. Okay? Or won't. Don't leave over. So he says amazing things as always. He said, the noiser, he said, the bechina that's called noiser, he said, how do I say this? Let's do it the easy way, right? Noiser is extra, and therefore it is superfluous. What superfluous is not good. We call it most gore. That's really most of what he's saying. He's saying something else also, but I don't want to go there, right? He said, you have to know that a person. Okay, I have to go there. Fine. So he says like this. He said, the Maisa you have a bechina that's called the Malchi Kelim. You have this bechina that is, it's called Shviras HaKelim. That means destruction, breaking of the vessel. That sounds so beautifully sublime. It is very sublime. But to put things very simply, every person has in his life things that are, he feels like he has no traction. Has very difficult issues and troubles. That's like, this problem is very hard. Because and he feels like, it could be from when he's 4 years old. He has this impossible temper. He doesn't know anything he did to, like, what did I do for, like, yeah, that's him. I have this problem. From when he's 4 years old, he has this trouble, there's that trouble, whatever it is. There's a book, Chait does this book, I think it's English also. We haven't looked in a long time, we used to have the kids. He also does the Midos book. I'm the Midos Party, I don't know exactly what it's called. But anyway, he had this thing, this nursery where you saw already from the baby all these different Midos. See, this baby is very giving, and this baby is very, not so giving, and this baby is angry, and this baby is happy. And there are Midos, and sometimes a person has these things that hold him back. So those are expressions of this break, which really, that's what caused all the Yitzhara and everything that happened is from too much light, right? Adam told Chava, don't even touch the tree, right? That was not a wise thing without explaining to her what it's about, because it was something that could be used to undermine what you need to do, right? You're allowed to touch the tree, don't eat from the tree, right? This is the trouble. So, and some of these bechinas, in every level, there's an aspect which is broken. So when you have chesed, suddenly a person has chesed, and the chesed is mishtolah, uses the chesed, wants to use the chesed for not such good things. Chesed for this, chesed for that, chesed for the other thing. What are you doing? The person has gvura, he's going to use gvura for not such good things. Angry at this, angry at that, resentful at this, resentful at that. Like what's going on? What are you doing? That's not what it's there for. That's not what it means. That's not what it's about. So all these inyanim, they're called these kings that broke, as it were. This aspect, all these bechinas, these aspects which you're supposed to find rulership connection to Hashem in, they're somewhat broken, and sometimes more broken in one person than another, depending what. And you have to overcome these breaks. So that's this aspect. So there's an aspect of what we do is we give the sitra achra something. When, like Mayim achronim, we find there's such a thing. You buy achronim, wash Mayim achronim, and as it were, you give the sitra achra something. You're giving something to them, Kilo, and that gets them off your back. And there are midrashim about this. It's a medrash. Kilo, he doesn't know. Someone comes for food. I don't remember so good the medrash. He comes for food, and there's a whole feast going on. I believe a blended feast, and like, just get this guy out of here. The king said, just give him something. So give him like if it's a bag of, like a bone, or some stuff, whatever. Food. It's edible, but it's not really. It's not the good stuff. It's like, oh, thank you. He's so happy. He leaves. He doesn't know what's going on, and he doesn't care. He feels like he's got a part of this big king's feast, and that's it. They've got some like old steak, old bread, whatever. Fine. Goodbye. Okay, that's all. Goodbye. Good luck. And that's exactly that's exactly what we're talking about. The same thing with a person that we give this bechinah, the Mayim achronim, the different aspects, different young. So he said, you have to give it over to them. They have their share, this little share, right? He said, but he said, in the times to come, when there's no more death, and we completely overcame them, you're not going to give them anything. He said, so again we have the bechinah of he brings 3 mitzvahs, right? Sir Rosh Chodesh, he says, right? We give the Sir Rosh Chodesh, to Kilu, as it were, make a kapara, atonement for Hashem, as it were, whatever that means. Also a question, what does it mean, atone for Hashem as a whole? There's what to say about that, what that means exactly. But one way or the other way, we're giving it, that goes to the other side, as it were, and the bechinah of the Sarah, the tefillin have the hairs that come out, right? That also is this bechinah and Mayim achronim. Those are the 3 he brings. He said, in this mitzvah, on Pesach, we jump without any kind of normal level. Usually it's level by level. Pesach, we just like get flown to the highest place, right, out of the blue. So we don't give the other side anything. He has nothing. Leil shimurim, you don't get it. So you don't leave anything over. He says, he doesn't get to leave. That's his bechin. That's his beautiful, that's where he's holding. Right? So therefore a person has, he said, every person also in personally, he's freed of the klipas. He said, you get to the place of cheres, you're free. And the klipa they have no koach. The Bechor in Mitzrayim, they're killed, they're done, they're finished. You did them in, you destroyed evil. That's why it's called leil shimurim. He says, so if you don't eat it all, you don't deal with the Korban Pesach the way you should, and of course you should bring enough subscribers so that you shouldn't leave over. You don't have to eat a tremendous amount necessarily. You have to have enough people so that it gets used up. So that's this bechinah. So then you're giving them koch. You don't give them koch. That's what he says. Now there's another In another minute, we'll get to another thing in another moment. So I just want to say also, that Rav Pinchas, Rav Pinchas Epstein, he had a chiddush in halacha. He said, we know that the halacha is that you're not supposed to, food on the bed is seriously problematic. The Mishnah says, b'diavad, it's not also if you can wash it 3 times, you should. That's the Mishnah's mouth. The Goyin argues. The Gemara is very sharp about it. Also, Mukubalim seem to be very, very sharp about it. Actually, I know someone who called his Rav. He's like, they put a whole box of, because of Ruach Ra. Yeah. Mishnah is Mako. The Chayim brings a raya that he can prove that it has to be that it's not, but it's okay. He brings a raya from Shkipik. Pashas, it doesn't help. This guy who had a box full of cans of tuna, left on the bed, he called his Rav. Again, this guy didn't hold like the Mishnah, obviously. And he's like, I'm sorry, the girl is very much, we have to throw it out. So the guy's like, but it's Baltashkis. He's like, no, the Baltashkis was when you left it on the bed and someone slept under it. Now, it's usher, and you have to throw it out. That was his answer. Again, I'm not saying, yeah, under the bed, exactly. So, I'm not saying it's halach again. The Mishnah says a different mahalach. Bruce says if you can't wash it, it's mutter. The chayalim that he goes with. If you can, this is the thing. Actually, when this ger tzedek, when Avraham passed away, the Gra said he was machlish. He completely weakened this whole tumah. So it's less than it used to be. Right? So it's kind of something different anyway. So anyway, that's the first thing. That's what we're talking about. So Pinchas Epstein said, but not leil seder. Leil seder, it's ma'ash musar. Leil shimurim. So if you have the food on the bed you slept, there's no ruach ra because it's gone. They have no koach. This is the same idea. She says now, when a person is in a place.
Sorry, you don't wash in the morning?
No, you wash in the morning anyway, and that's a good question. That's an excellent question. You wash in the morning anyway because there is something, but that something doesn't have any real koach. That's why if you leave over, you get messed. Like, it's, so what would he say to that? I don't know. Like, you could time it. So what do you mean? If I wash, or there is something. So there's something. When's the ruach ra come in? Is it the end of the night? Is it the beginning of the night? Right? So Pashas if you deserve so the beginning of the night, so maybe you don't need to, you can here and there you can try to clarify. It's not so simple. But the point is that, bottom line is that, I'm just trying to say this is beautiful things. He says the same thing when a person is in a very high state of mind. You feel uplifted, you feel elevated, so you have to be very careful. That's not the time when you give to the other side. So then you don't give it. He said that's very interesting. Right, that's what he's saying. The members of Doris, so when you have a tremendous behirish clarity, don't let the chitzon take over. Don't let it get from this light. In fact, so don't get angry. Don't get angry. He said after davening, after Shabbos, somebody comes to be saying, don't fall. Don't let it get you. And you do so fine, start again. But you realize this is now is a challenge. Are you going to hold on to it, or are you going to lose it? That's exactly the question. That's exactly the question. When you're in a great light and you're connected, you feel tremendous lives, don't fall from your madrega. That's what he says. That's the beginning of Pesach. He said, therefore you have to know that, yeah. Yeah, and he says, the results gave a lot of yichudim to learn how to not let the other side get a hold of your mitzvahs and your good, to be holy and stay there. And he said the main point of all this yichudim, bottom line is knowing that you have nothing, you know nothing, you don't know anything anyway, you don't understand anything anyway. So what's the problem? This is just a freebie Hashem is giving me, and I don't have to be careful staying with it, just appreciate it, and that's when you be going. Not to be this place of I am, and of course I'm going to say for the Komarna, if you have to know that it's from Hashem, and the minute you start to feel better than someone else, you're on the wrong path. You have to feel your job, and that's it, not to be with someone else. So that's the Heli Komarna. He said, if you give them a koyach, since your dvekas is really outside for now it's external, it's not really internal the way it ought to be. You haven't been able to manage to internalize it properly. He said they don't have so much koach during the light. when you really connected. But later, afterwards, you have to be very, very careful. Right? Leisa ad boiker. Till the morning, like after it's already after leil seder, then you have to already be done, because now is when they try to get a hold of a person. And that's really a big, big limud for all of us. We have to do everything we possibly can. And if Pesach Hashem falls, he says, okay, whatever it was, I'll start it again. And that's very, very beautiful. But we have to work very hard to get to this place of understanding that sometimes you have to give, sometimes you don't have to give. You have to be very, very careful to realize that what I do matters, and what I have to contribute matters. I have very, very important things to give, very important things to do, and I have to grab hold of that and really, really fight for it, struggle for it, connect to Hashem with it. That's really what we're here for, right? We have we have the murder bechira, like we were saying before, right? You have this bechira, the nachash made the internalized it, but we need to know that really, again, like we were saying with the foundation, but really all of this is not really, like the real me has tremendous koach and tremendous dvekas and has tremendous or. I have to find that aspect and work on it and bring it in. And sometimes I have to be zocheh to serve Hashem with Mesiras Nefesh. The Tol Sound, right? He writes in terms of Kodesh that a person, when you do serve Hashem Mesiras Nefesh, is the bechina tshuva mehava. And Mesiras Nefesh very often comes when things are hard and things are going better and going worse, and it's like there's a struggle. Like that's when you really have to bring out your Mesiras Nefesh, and that's an aspect of tshuva mehava. That's changing the various into mitzvahs. That's really one of our big goals: is to change the various into mitzvahs, not leave it. The tshuva, it's only shkalos. No, work on changing your various mitzvahs. And again, it doesn't mean chashon to find more chomer. We have enough as it is. We don't need to go looking. So we have to work on this, and do whatever we possibly can to remember Hashem and not to leave over. Realize that sometimes you have too much is not good. Not have too much fire, but have the right amount of fire, and realize that when I get a gift, bring it in, connect to it, and don't let it bring you to chas v'shalom, any kind of falling, but instead just keep moving up and doing whatever we can. Like I said before, Torah is the way to connect and to really, really be with Hashem. That's through the Hegel Torah. And we all have a complete free will, a complete free choice. And it's always very, very easy for a person to go to this place of, he wants to be, he's on fire, and that's just really, again, to do things that are just crazy, almost crazy. A person's running to hear something, if you're Psashir or whatever, push some guy out of the way, like, what, are you joking? Like, come on, you can't. That's not what you do. That's not proper. And people, they don't have proper balance. We have to be zocheh to be balanced, to be who we're supposed to be. And that's Hashem. Slowly but surely, we're going to be zocheh to get to this big artist and all the being on it.